Your Excellency, Sister Eugenia was just
Evangelize the islanders, but on the merging the cult of the enlightened and the cult.
These discoveries, if they can be verified, but they also represent a great upheaval. We must first verify their authenticity. Could what you have witnessed
We discovered ancient frescoes. They represent Saint Matthias without a doubt. In one, he is praying for the divinity of the island. I understand how shocking these discoveries are.
The tablets found at the site, however, attest that our founder he simply saw it as two different
The cavern we discovered is located in a very remote place. It contains some ruined dwellings, but clearly no fraudsters would inevitably have left traces. The entrance to the cave was protected by one of those giant creatures. These guardians usually protect sacred places. I had to kill this beast, which leads me to...
The relics could be authentic, Your Excellency, but the political and religious impact of these discoveries will be And who is to say that this is...
It seems that you only see the negative aspects of this. By integrating some of the natives' beliefs into your you could build an alliance with them.
It is a good argument, Your Excellency.
I would also like to inform you that a member of the Ordo Luminous, he tried several times to sabotage it, and finally attacked us.
Who'd have thought that the remaining members of the Order would... But I fear these attacks are just a reflection.
Your Eminence, we are faced with... He prays and places his trust in the one who came before him and has shown more wisdom. Saint Matthias shows us a new way.
You surprise me, Petrus. Yet your words seem sincere.
If my people knew that the great sage they had long respected, and that your priests respected our culture as he did,
And the Eden we wanted to build would be everywhere. Does anyone wish...
I understand your doubts about the future that will... You hesitate just as St. Lucius did to tell us about the... Yet he revealed what he knew, and his words still...
Thank you for your testimony. I will now... After careful consideration, I have decided that it is my duty to reveal your discoveries to the world. It will take years for our theologians to study, but our dogma must follow the path...
Thank you, Your Eminence.
I don't doubt it, my dear. And I look forward to worshipping at the place where our holy... As for you, Your Excellency, I thank you for that. Your sincere insight has encouraged...
It was my pleasure.
Let me also thank you, Your Excellency. Without...
you have returned.
Here is the seal of...
And so you are a trusted friend of the great healer. Enter.
I give you warm greetings, Glendan. I am Disarday, legate of the Congregation of Merchants.
Your merchant congregation sways me very slightly from my path. But you are a current of Katasach. His trust in you makes me stop and look at you. What brings you here?
I seek a remedy. My cousin, as well as many other people on... We think that only Enon Miel...
Really? And
He told me that the only way to meet with your god was to come and...
judge your intentions. But even if I should do this, for the path you seek to follow has only been tread but a very... We must begin where everything begins. There is a trial.
What must I do?
You must go to a cavern and tell me what you see on the sea.
And this cavern is guarded.
That is true. But the simplest... I hope you will prove that you understand. Go now. Show us your true faith.
What can you tell me about your god?
That the word God, he is Tir Fradi in all and everything. The wisdom of you, he is much more than...
What can you tell me about the sanctuary?
It is the most sacred place of the island. I protected these doors like my father before me and his father...
Am I to gather that there has never been a High King in your family?
We are heads of the Council of Kings. And so it is prohibited for...
I see. And so you cannot...
The heart of the island beats near him.
Can you tell me anything more about the role of the Council?
We gather here at every long night and every short night. During these nights, the clans are in disagreement and come here looking for wisdom of the Council, and of course also the High King. Those who have complaints against their Mal may also be heard here, and when important events take, so that the wisdom of all might be...
I must leave.
Qua awelamse.
You have spoken to Glendan as you want.
I was asked to pass the trial of...
I have never passed it. Only those who must. It is a tremendous honor.
Do you have any advice to give me?
I only know that the trial can be passed in many ways, and your choice. One way is through strength, the other, but I know no more than this. Anything else?
Nothing else. Thank you.
Good luck.
Siora, do you know anything about the trial that awaits us inside?
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinba.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed. And there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Look, they're eating the old carcass. If you poured some sleeping potion on it, they'd fall asleep. You did it. They're sleeping. We should be able to pass without a fight. Watch out, Anadag! You were freezing and you had this empty stare. The water in the basin spoke to you, no?
Yes. Exactly like the light.
Tell us. Visions like this.
I was in the sky. I was floating. I was high up, and it was getting colder and I fell to the ground and spun. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was then, just like before, the vision. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it's supposed to evoke death. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. Here this looks like a snowflake. The snow, or maybe ice. This drawing looks like an infant. Could it represent life? The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. I'm certain. On this stone, the sun is visible. This stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind, and it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood. This stone is blackened, eaten away. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. Here this looks like a snowflake. The snow, or the drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. On this stone, the sun is visible. This stone is blackened. Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order. Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind, and it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it's supposed to evoke death. The drawing on this stone makes me think of... This drawing looks like an infant. Could it I need a bit of practice.
Karans,
I'm listening, Siora.
do you remember the mine shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the lions, because my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And will you investigate this matter with me?
I cannot go there now, but we will talk.
Anything else?
I must pass the trial of water.
I have heard it talked about. One, my mother.
Did she?
If you and anything.
I'm asleep. I need a bit of practice.
Bird there to man.